challenge when I first start to increase the density on my roads, because, for example, doop, doop. Okay, so you can see all these guys walking around in giant herds, walking to work. But if I up the density on this road, it's possible that the residential buildings will all up in density before the commercial buildings, and then in order to get people to work here, you're going to need to import workers from across over here, and they're all going to drive, and so it's going to cause traffic. So let's start upping density and watch what happens. Density, Chappelle density. It just takes so much space in the map to get all these oil depots and oil refineries that I don't anticipate actually ever needing public transportation, no matter, even though I'll have max density stuff. So here we go, up in the density. Money. Another thing worth mentioning is once you have 1.2 million bucks a day coming in, there's no point in having high taxes anymore. Because you see, I lower my taxes to 0% and my income basically stays the same. So in any sort of specialized city, your goal should be to give your residents 0% taxes. I mean, why not? It's nice, makes them happy, and you can afford it, man. You can afford it. And it also gets things to up in density a lot quicker and to abandon a lot less frequently. And in the same regard, there's no point in skimping on services anymore once you're rich either. So, for example, we're only educating about half of our residents because we only need to educate about half of our residents to keep crime under control. But now that we're rich, why don't we just educate everyone, man? It just seems like the kind thing to do. And if we're going to educate everyone and cost is no obstacle, it's always more fun to put them in high schools because it saves space. And high schools have a slightly better... what the heck? I want to... Okay. Let's put that here. And somebody did mention that I forgot to replop school bus things, and that's totally true. There's a whole street here with no school buses and another street here with no school buses. So thank you for pointing that out. Let's see. What side of the road are the people on? I thought they were on the left side of the... Oh yeah, those are solar panels, so they are on the left side of the street. Here... So we don't need these school buses anymore. Boop. Cheetah speed is intense at close zoom. And my game just beeped at me for some reason. It's like, boop! Thought you should know! Boop! I'm telling you things. Too many deaths, no shoppers. All of the excuses that they gave for moving out are just, they're just lies. Like I said, what happens is they lose a certain amount of money every day by paying taxes. They gain a certain amount of money by working. And then they lose additional money or happiness based on things like not enough shoppers or too many deaths or too many sick people or too much crime. So they keep track of the latest thing other than not working that cause you can see all the traffic caused by upping density that cause them to decrease in happiness, and then when they get abandoned, they show you what was the one that contributed the most to their abandonment. So it's possible to have, for example, a house that loses just one happiness from being next to the dump, and then over 12 months the tax rate is set high enough that it eventually gets abandoned, and even though it only lost one happiness 12 months ago to being next to a dump, it's going to say, I abandoned because I live next to a dump, and that's ridiculous, and I don't want to live next to no stinking dump. Yeah, rockers, way to rock. So you can see it only increases traffic for this short time while these guys are upping density. Once they're all upped, it should be rocking. Anyway, I should I made that Department of Education for a reason, right? I should plop down a high school. So I did mention at one point that I was considering blowing up all my commercial, replacing it with residential, and then plopping libraries. And that's a way to not only save space, but also it drastically reduces the number of people you need in your city to work jobs, right? Because, for example, a high-density commercial building provides, I guess, like, a high-density, low-wealth commercial building provides something like 8,000 goods. I don't know the real number. Enough goods for 2 buildings is my point, right? And it takes as much space as a residential building. So if you want everyone in your city to be able to use commercial zones to shop, then you need to provide a ton of workers. Let's open the worker menu and I'll show you. Boop. All right, let's wait until one of these things gets high density. Right? Is this one? No, they're all building. But yeah, high density commercial, low wealth commercial provides enough jobs for like a bajillion houses. Whereas a library, there's only one guy working there going shh, you know. So a library provides shopping for 600 people and only takes one person to work there. Whereas a high-density commercial zone takes thousands of people to work there and provides thousands of goods. But the ratio of goods to workers is a lot worse. So you can increase the density of your city while keeping everybody happy by just using libraries instead. But it's tricky because nobody will use your libraries unless either they're broke, which will never happen in a zero-tax city, or there are no shops. So in order to use libraries at all, it's all or nothing. You have to blow up every shop in the city and then plop libraries, and then people will use them. So we're getting a lot of traffic here from these new higher density things, but I'm going to wait until everything's upped in density before I really look into it, because I think that it'll resolve itself. I think these might not... I think those were facing the wrong way. So they might never go to higher density. High density, high density, high density, high density. There should be one more right there. High density commercial stuff. Poor guy. The guy right next to him increased in density and he's like, no, I can't. That's not fair. Boo-hoo. Like that. He's mewling. So like I said, these high-density office buildings require a lot of workers, and there's just not enough workers to go around in my city, because we have a certain requirement of workers for these things over here that take precedence over commercial zones. So a lot of these buildings are complaining that they need more workers. And what we can do with that, I think, we can just blow some of them up. Let's check. Yep. We're producing more goods than we need anyway. We can just blow some of this up. So let's D-zone. Okay, so the ratio of houses to commercial zones that you need for low wealth people when you're using medium wealth commercial, like I was before, I upped the density of this street. Like this street, for example, is medium density, so everything's medium. And you want a 1-to-1 ratio, and that's what we have. We got houses on one side, commercial zones on the other side. This street, however, houses on one side, commercial zones on the other side, it would need more workers than it can get to make all of these shops profitable, and these shops are providing enough goods for more than just those houses. So it's creating traffic to have an excess of goods and require an excess of workers. So we can reduce this traffic by blowing some of this crap up. I hope I explained that well enough. But you're looking and saying, well, why is anyone driving? See, these guys are driving. Let's watch them. I need a job. There's a job available right across the street, so why would I ever drive? Follow. Normal speed. Show me. Show me the answer to my query. Why are you driving? Let's open the population thingy. So, high density office can hold 200 workers. The one across the street from that house only has 75 workers. Actually, they all have 75, so they must be, yeah, they must be a different type. So this one's bathroom buildings. Bathroom buildings. Whereas this one is business buildings. And this one is Quigley Partners. Quigley. That's weird. So our specialization buildings send a more powerful I need workers agent than anyone else. Which is why people who have jobs available right across the street are still driving all the way over to work at our specialization buildings. Because otherwise we just wouldn't get enough oil, and the whole purpose of our city is to get oil, so it makes sense that people would go there. Ooh, backed up pipes. Don't want to do that. We'll pollute the whole world. Okay, we gotta open the second one. Turn on this, and this, and this. You want it to be green. You can get by if it's at 0, but when you have 2 on the same road like this, all the agents are going to go to the first one. It's going to fill up, and the agents are going to go, crap, there's nowhere to go, and then they're going to go to the second one. Which means that there's a short time period there where everyone's going, oh, I don't know what to do, and so you kind of build up more than exactly as much sewage as is needed anyway. Point is, you'll have overflow if you don't keep it green. Alright. So, blowing up some of these commercial zones. I don't know exactly the ratio of things to blow up. Should be, the answer should be in that picture I was looking at before, but I totally just didn't look at it. So our city is functioning perfectly well with no high wealth people, and we're getting 1.5 mil a day with no taxes. But I want to add some high wealth people anyway, just for funsies. Since our tax rate is low and our services are high, we can totally make them happy. And we've got 1,000 jobs for them, so why not? Let's make some people high wealth. And we've got 6,000 desks for 2,000 people, so we're paying a bunch of money to keep desks available that we don't need. And I'm okay with that because we're rich. I'm okay with everything because we're rich. Alright, I feel like this road is probably very heavily used because everyone needs to get to work on this road, but it seems like it's okay actually. So we upped the density of one street and we were happy with it. Let's up the density of another street. But first, what's going on here? No, that's still okay. It's only like 6 AM is rush hour and it's busy for an hour during rush hour. The rest of the time is not busy. It's totally happy. So yes, I can. If I replaced this horizontal street with an avenue, I think it would improve things a lot because a lot of people need to get to work outside of the residential district. Best mayor ever, have an approval rate of 95% or higher. Funny. Like lots of health issues. There's one whole health issue. And the reason they say that is because there actually are a lot of health issues. There's 86 people sick in my city every day, and only 45 of them are getting treated. Sickness is like crime. You increase sickness level until you die. And it spreads to other people living in the same house and working the same job. So it is a big deal to have so much sickness going on. We can fight it with a hospital and wellness centers and stuff, but I'm not going to bother. There's a lot of traffic on this street. Where are you guys going? They're leaving the city for some reason. Tourists! I bet I have tourists. Nope. Why is everyone leaving my city? Abandoned! They're like feeling happy, leaving the city. So these guys are going to become tourists off in a fictitious land called Oz. And that's why they're leaving the city, man. They're out on tour. What's going on over here? Not enough workers. Surprisingly, not enough workers, actually. Petroleum problem. What problem? Like, I have a petroleum problem. Oh, you know, they're saying that I shouldn't have pumps here. And they're right. I shouldn't have pumps here. I have a problem with my petroleum. I don't need any more pumps, so whatever. Okay. Worker shortage. Can't help. I'll just keep upping density. Hopefully that'll deal with worker shortage. So, how many of these should I dezone is the real question. What is the ratio? The ratio. I have to look it up. Oh, I can figure it out this way. Watch. Okay. So this is a max density commercial, and I've got a lot of those. I know that this guy provides 400 workers. How many goods does this provide? Because I think I need 400 goods. Is that true? I'll just blow up one of each. Use a pencil and a bulldozer to figure this out. So I've got 6793 goods. If I blow him up, that should go down. Yeah, okay. 793. So it's like 3, 6. Yeah, like 36. And how many goods do I require by blowing up one of these? So it's 63, no, 36. Yeah. 360 goods, so like close to 400 goods for one of those. And I bet that it requires 400 good for one of these. So let's blow one up. 2934, blow it up. Watch this number go down. 934. So 200. Yeah. So each building needs 200. Each one of these buildings provides 400, and these are smaller than those. So really, we need a lot fewer of these than those. How many fewer specifically, though? So it's about 800. It's like an 800 to 200, so it's 4-to-1 ratio. So we need way fewer. Let's blow up every fourth building. Let's try that. Actually, what we really want is to be replacing some of the commercial with residential, right? So it doesn't make sense to blow up every fourth building, because we wouldn't be able to fit a new residential zone in the places that we blew up buildings, right? So let's just do that at first. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Then 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Like that. See if that works. Yeah, residential it up, boy. Okay. So this guy needs 200 goods, 200 goods. So this is 600 desire for goods. This guy provides 360. This guy provides 360. So that's a little bit more than 600. I think that makes us happy. So we just need 2 commercial buildings for 3 residential buildings, kind of. So that means we want to blow up this one. So across the street from him. Like that. Let's see. Do 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 do. And I'm obviously not going to do it across the whole street because if I'm wrong, it's going to create a crap ton of traffic. There's also to be considered the fact that this building holds 75 workers, and these buildings are the three here are providing 1,200. So if only 100 of them can work within walking distance, that might cause some crazy traffic to have that going on too. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm suspecting that almost everyone from this building and this building and this building are going to send out cars now, and that's going to just ruin our lives. Ruining our lives. Let's up this in density at the same time. Still got kind of an excess of goods. Our richness cannot be overstated. We are rich beyond our wildest richness dreams. And yes, I've made $6 million a day before, but the difference between 1 million and 6 million bucks a day when your budget is zero, you know, close to zero, is just, you know, not worth whining about. People are protesting high rent, you guys. That's funny. Our tax rate is 0. It is my understanding that, I mean, there are two things that could be construed as rent, right? Land value and taxes. In reality, people don't pay rent in this game. I don't think they do. They pay taxes once a day. So if your tax rate is 0, then their rent is 0, I think. I've never heard anyone talk about actual rent. Let's see. Show me someone paying rent. Come on. Let's find a building that's like maxed out and has been maxed out since the beginning of time. This one. 36 happiness, 10 money. Pay rent, I dare you. Come on, pay rent. I'll forgive you. It's no big deal. So he just gained money, and it disappeared because he already had 10 money, and now it's gone. And now he just lost 2 money somehow. Why did he lose 2 money? Maybe he did pay rent, or maybe he didn't. And then he just gained money, and there's no additional money. What is going on? Maybe the dollar sign means he paid taxes. I think the dollar sign does correspond to him paying taxes. This guy just lost money. So, one thing, I know that the household loses money when it sends a shopper to go shopping. But why would he send shoppers to go shopping if he's maxed on happiness already? Just seems like a waste. This guy just lost money too. And it's sending out happiness fetchers. Come on, baby. So this guy's sending out a ton of shoppers right now. And it didn't lose any money when it did. Do 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 do. Pay rent. Come on. You can do it. I feel really bad about this guy. He lost $2. Okay, there we go. Gained money. He totally worked. Gained money. I think 36 is his max happiness, and I think he will send out shoppers to purchase happiness, which will just disappear when he brings it home. Because otherwise the simulation wouldn't work. I mean, if people never went shopping when they're happy, that would just be silly. But I don't think he pays rent. That's my point. I think every time his money goes down, it's because he's sending out a shopper. But maybe shopping could be construed as rent. I don't know. Ooh, he's sick. Poor guy. Poor little dude. Sick as a puppy dog. Anyway, we've got a lot more traffic now that we're upping density. Let's fix it. Whoa, this street is flooded with traffic. But again, you gotta wait until everything finishes upping density before you worry about traffic. So we're gonna have traffic for 2 days while things up density. Then we'll worry about it then. This street, however, has been upped in density for a long time, so any traffic on this street is a big deal. Whoa! Calm down. This street has a lot of traffic. Cities run a lot more smoothly if you just leave everything medium density and have everybody walk to work. But increasing density is a challenge, and let's figure out how to make it work without adding more roads and public transportation. Huh, where did he come from? So he worked at the refinery and he wants to come home to his house. His pretend house. So he came down this road over here. Obviously the closest house is going to be down this street. Couldn't find a job on this street, so he went up this street and found a house. So everybody who works up here is going to do that. They're either going to go down this street or this street. And since there are more houses, the way the travel thing, the algorithm works, is the strength of a left turn here for them down this road and a right turn is based on the number of available houses that don't have anyone in them yet. So because we upped the density twice on this side of the road and not at all on this side, almost everyone's going to turn this way first, and then they're all going to turn down this street first. But I feel like at 5 a.m. if we have no traffic, then we don't need to worry about it. So let's check it out at 5 a.m. We still have quite a bit of traffic at 5 a.m. So we do need to worry about it, man. We do. It's pretty smooth, though. It's not the end of the world. Right before 6 a.m. it's pretty smooth. So we're just barely on the edge of the threshold where we would really need to add public transportation. And like I said, we're rich, so I'm not opposed to public transportation in general if we need to. Yeah, see, this is that problem where all of the sewage is going to the first plant, it's overflowing, and then the second plant is taking up the slack. I think I need to change this because I think it's creating ground pollution when that happens. Nope, it's not, so I don't care. No ground pollution for us, totally fine. More specialization whining, petroleum facility closed because not enough workers. Again, upping density should theoretically help with that, but if we create more commercial jobs than we create houses when we up density, then we're not helping ourselves at all. Maybe we should just be shoving people over here. I'm doing that, man. People galore. There we go. Let's people it up. People can work inside of a processing plant. Lots of people. Lots of processing plant people. Now I don't want these people commuting to shop either, so let's create some shops for them. Remember, we want a 3-to-1 ratio of high density housing versus shopping. But I don't think these are ever going to become high density, so we might need even more shopping. We'll see. We'll see. And these people are, of course, living in a cesspool of pollution and are all going to die of diseases, but we're okay with that as well, because they'll be pretty happy since they're not paying taxes. Honestly, I mean, I think I'd rather be alive than have low taxes, but these guys, they don't feel the same as me. I'm trying to decide if continuing to dezone commercial and rezone residential along this street is wise. So we still have excess shopping, or excess goods available, so we still do need to, not need to, but want to reduce the number of goods we're producing. massively overproducing goods with these high-density commercial zones. But I think we're creating traffic every time we do that, so it's a risky business. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so we can fit one more, I think, like... I'm surprised these guys didn't up in density. Maybe they will now. But I do think we should blow up this stuff and use commercial. I mean, residential. Oh, residents, we're gonna rezone you. I'm gonna rezone you. Right. So these stores, our traffic is definitely going to eventually get bad enough to worry about. But right now, I'm still happy with it. Got a lot more traffic, but it's still moving quickly and no big deal. All right, let's up some more density over here.